My virginal butt loves it.
The outlines for Koepka are fantastic. I think it's perfect. It is punitive, but it's fair. You've got to levy some sort of fine, so to speak, for defecting, and I think they've done a wonderful job of being equitable and punishing him a bit at the same time. I think Brooks ultimately wants to be playing with the best.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
New York Giants. They fired their head coach, Brian Daboll. Now, they did that during the season. Harbaugh is the favorite by a wide margin. Looking at Kalshi right now, Joe, 56% chance. 56 that he's the coach. The guy behind him is Kevin Stefanski at 25%. Does this look like it's just a Harbaugh spot? And if not, why is Harbaugh waiting until Monday? Does he want to see if something else opens up? But it looks like he's the heavy favorite and probably will get the job.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Kevin Walsh and Joe Lisi. We're usually not delirious until Wednesday, Thursday. We're hitting them early here, my friend.
It is. I'm very excited for this Super Bowl 60. I am. I've been breaking it down all week. I've been looking at the props. The storylines. I like to get the pulse of both.
Insider Lisi.
I'm
looking at the props.
Scrolling social media.
Why don't you hit the ground running? Why don't you tell people something you like? Come on. Stop holding back. Stop holding back. What do you like? Really, just tell them one thing. Just tell them something you like in this game.
I like the purple for the Gatorade. Trifecta.
I thought you were on the red pink.
Oh, that's the backup. But the purple, we're going to go with the purple. Plus 650, third time in a row. That's
so
it.
We're on a purple run.
Purple run. Trifecta. We got boots on the ground out in San Francisco.
Have you won on the purple?
Yeah, the first time it came out 2 years ago.
Okay.
But then I went to the clear last year, and that's what it got.
Because clear was trending the wrong direction, and so you thought somebody knew something. And you tried to, all right, hey.
I zigged and zagged on the Gatorade.
That's what you got to do.
But I mean, I looked back at last year's Super Bowl. Yeah. I don't know if you remember my best bet, prop-wise, too. I had Dotson and Barkley in the receiving game.
Both came in?
Flying colors.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Hand up.
Were you on Grant Calcaterra last year?
No.
No?
I was on Calcaterra in the middle of the regular season.
Yeah.
There was a game that they had played Cincinnati.
Okay.
And Goddard was out.
So in that game, you weren't waiting on a Calcaterra?
No.
Nothing?
I didn't have anything with Calcaterra.
Okay. I was thinking about this the other day. I really was.
Were you?
I really was trying. I was like, was he on Calcaterra?
I was on actually Marquise Brown. I actually saw some of the tickets last night that popped up.
Okay.
Marquise Brown didn't even. It was Xavier Worthy in
157.
Yeah, he had all the targets.
You want me to tell you a bet that I placed?
Sure.
You might not like it.
Okay. Shocker.
It's because it's minus 138.
All right, what is it?
Any player to have 100-plus receiving yards in the Super Bowl.
I like that.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, for minus money and chalky.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
So,
especially when you think about obviously JSN. I mean,
But here's why I actually maybe I should have realized you'd like it. So people will say, like, why don't you just bet JSN?
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, I don't like that because of the field. Because in these games,
I
you
went to
always
the
get
right
that
man.
outlier, right? Like Dotson didn't lead the team in receiving, but he still had a big performance. There's no doubt in this game there can be a Shaheed or on the flip side Hunter Henry or Booty, Kyle Williams.
I shouldn't laugh.
Why?
I shouldn't laugh because it's my bet, but it is actually immediately
Tied to what I like.
because you are more inclined to say, Kev, I don't think JSN wins that bet for you.
Yeah.
Give me Diggs,
Yeah.
give me Hollins,
Yeah.
give me Booty.
Yeah.
Dotson had 2 catches
And
for
it's-
42 yards.
Yeah.
Almost at 100.
I mean, he had the big one, right? Almost a touchdown. People were up in arms because he got tackled on the one.
First touchdown.
Yeah. That was Hurts last year. So,
That's in each Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, so
but that's what we love to dissect. You see, we have so much time. And we're going to be able to really zero in on the analysis of the game as we inch closer. We'll be obviously on Super Bowl Sunday as well. So I'm just saying, we're going to have plenty of time to dissect
So-
the X's and O's.
I'll say this. People might say, well, why not just bet JSN for 100? That on the same book which was FanDuel, I got the minus 138, is plus 114.
Yeah, but
That's not a big enough gap for me
No.
to leave out every other player in the game. 13 of the last 15 Super Bowls, a player has had 100 or more yards.
Yeah.
So do I think I will win the bet because of JSN? I do, actually. I actually think in the Super Bowl, Darnold is going to pepper him
Right.
And it doesn't hurt that I'm not just the Patriots side. I really think they can win this game. So maybe Darnold will have some trailing reps, and that's only better, right, for Smith and Jigba, probably in the receiving game. But why would I not include every other player
You have to.
for what I don't think is that big of a gap?
No, I agree. I think it's a great look. And, again, you're protecting yourself from injury, too.
Yeah.
Right? And we don't want to see the star players get hurt, but
Sure.
in that type of situation,
It's true.
where if he tweaks something or he's not a full go or the number one goes down, you have a backup to come in. And I was just thinking through the Super Bowl. So if we just take it back to Cincinnati, L.A.,
Yeah.
it was Kupp that had 100.
So that's one
Did
of the main
Higgins have 100 in that game?
So you have a good memory. That's one of the main reasons I bet it. Kupp had 92.
Okay.
Chase didn't get there, but Higgins got 100.
Yeah, he had the big play in the second half. And then the Tom Brady game.
With Tampa?
Yeah. Did anybody get there?
I think Kelsey, maybe, because it's 13 of the last 15, and I actually think 2 years ago was one of the few.
That was AJ that got there, right? Or no?
Devonta Smith got there.
Oh, okay.
In the first
AJ
Eagles
was
run.
close. AJ was close. He had the big touchdown catch.
Yeah,
In the-
Kelsey had a $133 in the one against Tampa Bay. Where
Right.
The Chiefs got smashed.
Yeah, and last year was worthy. So,
No, but Joe, like in recent Super Bowl history, and there are stretches. That's what I'm saying. Like last year, if I would have offered this same bet up, and admittedly, I don't know if it was offered. I don't know what the price was.
right.
We would have thought A.J. Brown,
Yeah.
maybe Devonta Smith.
I knew
Maybe
it was
Kelsey.
Higgins too. Yeah, and then
But that's my point. Like
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp went under his prop in that game, by the way.
but he won it because he had 2 touchdowns.
Yes, but also that's how high his prop
Yeah.
were. My point is,
It's similar to JSN.
yes. And but by the way, it still got there though. My point, like Stephon Diggs has had 5 or 6 games this year of 100+ yards. It's the Super Bowl. We don't think Stephon Diggs is gonna have a big game.
I always look. It's a good bet because in the Super Bowl you could always have chunk plays. But you have broken tackle,
Yeah.
nerves. You don't exactly know how this game is going to play out. So I actually like that bet. I like it obviously a lot more than a 100-yard rusher just because we know how dominant the defenses are.
Yeah.
And again, when you have a team trailing in this type of environment, they're going to chuck. So
I didn't even know that they actually had the 100-yard.
I don't know if they did.
They probably do.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, I think the thing with the 100-yard. Okay, so here's a 100-yard rusher at plus 172, and why I think that's you check in at the plus price is there are really 2, if you're feeling frisky, 3 guys that could get that number, unless you want to make a Dre. I realistically, just looking at the prices, it's Walker, it's Ramondre, and anything else would be stunning, right?
Yeah.
With Pop Douglas has a 100-yard game this season. Mac Hollins has a 100-yard game this season.
It's when you have, it all depends on game flow, right?
Yeah.
And if you have scoring in the first 8 minutes, you're alive, right? You're alive for that bet, especially if it's through the air. You get yards early in this game.
Yeah.
You're gonna blow through that number, especially if a team is trailing by double digits in the fourth quarter. So it's not a bad look at last year. Kansas City was dead to rights. They were basically out of the game by halftime.
Yep.
And Worthy blows through that number because all he had was garbage yards.
Up throwing for 257 and 3 touchdowns. I mean, the numbers.
All in the fourth quarter.
Garbage time, so irrelevant. It's why, his QBR for the game was 10. But that's kind of my thing is that is a bet that is game script protected, right?
Yeah.
Incredibly last year, despite Saquon Barkley, that game didn't have a 100-yard rusher.
Right.
Because
he had 59, I think.
Saquon?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Hurts led the game in rushing at 72. But, Spagnuolo, and look, he got burned. People let him off the hook. Spent so much time focusing on Saquon, that couldn't get going, and the Chiefs couldn't run the ball. Mahomes was the only guy who had more than 10 yards on the Chiefs rushing the football last year. So it gives you an idea. What I think we'll take this conversation then into the quarterbacks. The trust and the evaluation that we have and, the expectations for both Sam Darnold and Drake May. 2 QBs walking very, very different paths, but a lot of certainly pressure on their shoulders entering the Super Bowl. We'll break it down next.
Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks.
We can capitalize.
We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
They're just unblemished everywhere. They dominate you defensively, and they have offensive balance. They force turnovers. They control the glass. Let's put it to you like this. UConn isn't just undefeated. They're a tyrant over the women's basketball landscape. March won't expose them much as they will confirm their invincibility.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
Can USA overtake Canada and get that gold, Joe?
Absolutely, they can here. And ultimately, it feels like that is the 2-horse race. And I think ultimately, Canadians don't really care if their team competes in the luge or the bobsled, Donnie, or anything else. They just want that gold when it comes to ice hockey. And that is the only thing that's going to matter there.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Drake May and Sam Darnold here and again. Getting out of Stidham, which who knows what that have brought to the Super Bowl. But at least we get a young quarterback in Drake May looking to stamp his claim to, Tom Brady was great for this organization. Let me see if I can run a couple championships up the flagpole early in my career. And then there's Sam Darnold at this point, where he's getting other general managers fired while he's making his run to the Super Bowl. He's been nothing short of really, really good this season.
Pro Football Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today here on SportsGrid. Taking a look at the quarterback position in the Super Bowl. And again, 2 quarterbacks show really different paths into this moment. But, you look at the starting point. Both drafted top 3 to AFC East teams.
Yeah.
One of them made the Super Bowl in year 2. The other's been around the block. I think Darnold is really the story because it's such an underdog story. I mean, it is stunning that he specifically is here, and the fact that he has won or been a part of, I want to say been a part of 14 win teams in consecutive seasons. You cannot hand wave something like that. I want to start here. relative to the rest of the league, how do you assess Sam Darnold?
I told you earlier, and when we broke it down last week and leading up to the Super Bowl, I really believe he's answered all of his critics. Mm-hmm. He's erased all the negativity.
Yep.
And in both playoff wins, even though one wasn't spectacular statistically, he still engineered that win, and they got it in dominating fashion. You can make the argument the game was over before it started with the kickoff return, but, I mean, to go for 346 plus, 3 touchdowns, and outduel, and I know Stafford had better stats, but ultimately Darnold's team should have been up 11 if they don't get that stupid penalty, and they win it, in dominating fashion, potentially. And again, he didn't turn the football over. Just put his team in a position, the throws, the confidence, the ability to break contain, move around in the pocket. I mean, he looks like a calm, collected quarterback, and, anything that you throw at him now, I think he's able to handle.
Yeah.
And you want to say that maybe the difference last year to this year is, okay, at the end of last year, he did in those 2 games against Detroit and the L.A. Rams looked like a deer in the headlights, right? They blitzed him early and often. He couldn't handle it and didn't know where to go with the football and couldn't seem to get a handle on where to throw the football because he was seeing everybody. Mm-hmm. This year, it's similar, I'll say, to Fernando Mendoza. And I know you like Mendoza.
Okay.
Because you look at Mendoza in the big games this year. Mm-hmm. Threw an interception against Iowa. Rebounds with a touchdown. Throws an interception, and they're down against Penn State. Rebounds with the touchdown to Omar Cooper. Throws an interception against Oregon. Rebounds in the second half with a touchdown. Same thing with Darnold, right? You look at the game. All right, they got him one time in L.A. when they lost that game 21-19, but he was still – they had an opportunity to kick the 60-yarder to win it. In the second game, he was playing atrocious in the first half, and then once they gave him that little opening, he exploited it, and he led his team on the come-from-behind drive. He led them in the overtime, and so that's what I see. He's no longer dwelling in the adversity. He's putting it in the rearview mirror, and all of a sudden he's moving forward. He believes that he can throw and he can lead his team from behind, and when we break this game down and we talk about my assessment – that's where I think the difference is between Drake May and him right now is that if he is in a come-from-behind situation, personally, and this is just a personal assessment, I believe Sam Darnold is more equipped to play from behind than Drake May, and I know you'll disagree. But
well, yeah, I do disagree.
That's why I love it.
Ultimately, each guy kind of has one game that they can point to for, hey, I completed a comeback. It was May against Baltimore.
Right.
On a Sunday nighter where he threw for 380, first ever 300-yard game. You also had Lamar get injured in the game, right? So maybe that helped. And then Darnold has the comeback against the Rams, which, I don't know. It is stunning to me that Sam Darnold has found his footing. And I actually think there's like a keep on taking all the steps back. We still rush quarterbacks onto the field way too much.
I knew this is where you were going with this, and I know.
Well, the evidence is there because even going from the Jets to Carolina didn't really work, right? Mm-hmm. But the year the study abroad year, basically, that he had in San Francisco.
Yeah.
It feels like that made a difference.
Okay.
And his perception changed.
Okay.
And then...
Could we just chalk it up to good coaching?
Sure.
I don't know, but my point is, because Baker isn't they were both on the same team.
Yeah.
Both in Carolina.
Yeah.
Baker didn't, obviously, I think personally Cleveland let go of Baker a little too soon. Okay, but it is what it is.
Sure.
Carolina was a train wreck with Brady and Rule.
No doubt.
Baker goes for that half a year with McVay, with the Rams, and all of a sudden, good coaching from that point on with Tampa, he's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Or above, much higher than what he was throughout, the early part of his career. So is it the maturity, or is it Shanahan and obviously McVay? who were above average coaches, as opposed to some of the gutless coaches that these guys had earlier in their career.
Yes, I think it does show that coaching is a really big deal. I'm just saying, if you look right, Sam Darnold is 28.
He's young.
It's amazing that he's still in the league, though, in a some way.
But that's the problem with the league. The perception is, hey, but I agree. If you draft a guy, right, top 5 or you have to make that assessment within the first 2 years.
So I don't think there's a world. I don't know if we'll ever see anyone not play for 2 years. Okay? That's crazy. And I think it is okay to play a guy right away.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
What I am saying is we have examples of guys that are first-round talents. Quarterback position, it sometimes feels like it's just about tools and talent, right? It's all upside. So if there's a guy that is worth that, you can see that. You see this right hook coming a mile away, and you still can't get out of it. I'm just saying, give Anthony Richardson a chance.
I was going to take it the other way because now I'll play. Do you think Daniel Jones has gotten over the hump?
So no. It's funny.
Same team.
Oh, no. So this is the funny thing, though, Joe. I obviously said, my feelings about
Daniel. Because you do not, right.
He's awful. I mean, he's absolutely terrible. Like, he's so bad at football. He was finding himself in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Now, things got cut off at the worst possible time.
Right.
He's had another major injury. His play was starting to tick down. Was that tied to an existing? We may never know. But I think that's fair, right? Like, if guys are worth round 1 picks, give them time. And I think that's really fascinating as Seattle's found a guy. But occasionally then you get someone like Drake May, and in the second year they're in the Super Bowl, so we'll talk more about that next.
Drake May and Sam Darnold here and again. Getting out of Stidham, which who knows what that have brought to the Super Bowl. But at least we get a young quarterback in Drake May looking to stamp his claim to, Tom Brady was great for this organization. Let me see if I can run a couple championships up the flagpole early in my career. And then there's Sam Darnold at this point, where he's getting other general managers fired while he's making his run to the Super Bowl. He's been nothing short of really, really good this season.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can USA overtake Canada and get that gold, Joe?
Absolutely, they can here. And ultimately, it feels like that is the 2-horse race. And I think ultimately, Canadians don't really care if their team competes in the luge or the bobsled, Donnie, or anything else. They just want that gold when it comes to ice hockey. And that is the only thing that's going to matter there.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today here on SportsGrid. Kevin Walsh, Joe Lisi. I know we're going to talk Drake May. We got time. We're going to get to Drake May. I actually want to just circle back on something with Darnold, just because that's where we are. And again, I will preface this by saying I believe that Sam Darnold has now earned himself to be the Seahawks quarterback for a half decade at minimum. Like, I think he has the potential to be everything that they had been looking for since Russ kind of started to decline or things got a little weird in Seattle. But one of the reasons that I was so hard on Darnold is last year in all of the big games, he was at his worst. And that is noticeable, right? It played out like that in the playoffs and in Week 18. So then we got to this year. And in the biggest games, he was at his worst. He just was. He just was. And even in the comeback win against the Rams, he had multiple interceptions, which looked like they would be backbreakers. A lot of things broke well. His defining moment was the overtime drive. And I give him a lot of credit for that. You have to make those plays. But it still was like, oh, yeah, be careful with this. The Week 18 game against the Niners. He was good. I'm not saying he wasn't good. He didn't have to do much. Just didn't. The divisional round game against the Niners. He wasn't bad. He didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable against the Rams. You'll never take that away from him. But the column of big game performances from Sam Darnold, good, bad, still leans heavy to bad.
Okay.
So I think it is fair to say Darnold is their franchise quarterback. Darnold has proven me wrong that he can't hang in this league. Darnold is a top half of this league quarterback, right? And say, I don't trust him in this game as much as everyone else does.
Okay, that's understandable. But I'll take the flip side. You have a quarterback in Drake May, second-year guy.
But before you, but what about trusting Darnold? Before you tell me you don't trust Drake May.
I trust Darnold. I do. I trust him enough that even if I get the ugly, I think the positives could outweigh the ugly in the game.
Okay.
Where I told you, 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I think and again, you have to break this. You have to go with what you know when you bet this.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
What I know is I have a quarterback in Drake May that dominated in the regular season. And in the playoffs, he's winning games, but he's doing it more with his legs than he is with his arm.
That's true.
And I believe, and I told you, he has to be more aggressive. They have to be more aggressive. That game plan, to me, is not going to work to knock off the Seattle Seahawks. I like the over. But again, if we're breaking down and critiquing Darnold, what has Drake May shown you? He's a second-year guy. I mean, he has as much of an opportunity to turn into a pumpkin as Darnold. I'm just saying. So at least I know I got a quarterback that, hey, look, has he looked great in the regular season? Absolutely. In the playoffs last year, he was terrible. Is that an option to potentially go back to that? Yeah, it always is. He's not Tom Brady out there. He's not, an elite quarterback. I think he's above average. I think he's top 10 statistically.
Yeah.
But in this matchup, I trust him more than I do Drake May. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, listen, I think that it's interesting. We're saying, at least, I think maybe the same thing of, I'm more concerned about the matchup than the big picture.
Right.
Right, where I think Darnold has won in the big picture. I am not sure that means he's going to play well in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, styles make fights. We always talk about that.
But I'm also and this is just like, as bettors, you find what your comfort is.
Yeah.
Right? Like, hey, like this is my process or whatever it might be. And everyone knows that, like, you can argue if you want, I'm over-relying on it. I don't really care. I like to buy low and sell high.
Yeah.
I like bounce backs. I like, right? And if we were to take this in NBA terms, Sam Darnold is coming off of scoring 55 points. And I think there are some people who are like, he just scored 55. You don't think he's going to score 40? So I don't know. It's really hard to score 40. And also, he averaged 20 a game. So, no, not really. Like, no. I'm a little more interested in the guy who, quite frankly, in the regular season, averaged 30 a night, going for 30. Like,
right.
To, kind of draw that comparison. One of the really interesting things, though, about the Super Bowl, both quarterbacks have questions at the minimum around their health. And I will say, and maybe I'm cheating a little bit, but I've largely washed my hands of the whole thing because we have a cheat code in Six Score and the Pro Football Doc, Dr. David Chow. I don't need to worry about figuring out what's going on. They'll just tell us. Next, we hear from the doc here on SportsGrid.
Drake May and Sam Darnold here, and again, getting out of Stidham, which who knows what that have brought to the Super Bowl, but at least we get a young quarterback in Drake May looking to stamp his claim to, yeah, Tom Brady was great for this organization. Let me see if I can run a couple championships up the flagpole early in my career. And then there's Sam Darnold at this point, who is getting other general managers fired while he's making his run to the Super Bowl. He's been nothing short of really, really good this season.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can USA overtake Canada and get that gold, Joe?
Absolutely, they can here. And ultimately, it feels like that is the two-horse race. And I think ultimately, Canadians don't really care if their team competes in the luge or the bobsled, Donnie, or anything else. They just want that gold when it comes to ice hockey. And that is the only thing that's going to matter there.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Okay, with you here on Pro Football Today, Kevin Walsh, Joe Lisi. We are working through getting our guy Doc together. He's out there in San Francisco. But Lisi, I guess I like I said, this isn't up to us to figure out. But I'm curious, I guess, your opinion on these two quarterbacks. I'll start with Drake May, the shoulder. Do you worry? Do you care? Is it anything to you?
No, it's as much as the oblique with Darnold.
Yeah.
Right? It's a whole lot of nothing. I mean, it's a Super Bowl. You rip off a limb to play. I mean, that's the bottom line, you know. And it is a must-win game. Whoever asked Vrabel that question, I mean, give me a break.
I don't know if it was a bit. I don't really know.
I don't know. You think it's a must-win game? Nah, we just fight all year long and break down in the offseason to not win the Super Bowl. I mean, ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I just, let me ask you this. Which quarterback would shock you to, I know you're going to say it's Darnold, shock you to 303 touchdowns? Would it be Darnold? Or is it like to go and perform at an elite level, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns? Which do you think right here, right now is more capable?
Drake May.
Okay.
Well, the guy's going to finish second in MVP.
I get with the second in the MVP, threw for 66 yards against Denver, or 86. I mean, what did he do? I mean, come on.
Hold on. They scored 7 points in the game, too. So you like the under?
No.
Why not?
Because, again, I always talk about
I don't understand.
The big games.
He didn't do anything.
He has to break tendency.
What? And so his tendency is doing nothing?
No, I told you. They have to be more aggressive with the play calling. McDaniels and that offense in run situations, I think, have to be more aggressive and throw the football to loosen up the front seven. Again, they're not going to line up and run on a defense. We keep saying can it happen? They haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher in 28 games.
Right.
So statistically, right, all the prop bettors like this, the trend is your friend. He's hit this number on 28 straight times.
Okay.
So if I were to say, no, he's gonna run for what are you, crazy? That's what you would tell me.
Well, I mean, hold on a second. What I am saying is, okay?
Yeah.
You telling me that it's not very like you to say, hey, this guy just threw for 303. This guy just threw for less than 100. You know what my read on the situation is? Same thing happens.
No.
That's not really Mr. Trevion Henderson.
You're misreading what I am saying.
Okay.
I am not suggesting I believe Drake May is going to throw for 66 or 80 yards in the game. I think he could get to 240. I think that's realistic. I really do. But if he gets to 240, I just believe Darnold's going to be up at 280, 300. I just that's again, I'm not discounting Drake May's ability. What I'm saying is, out of both quarterbacks from where we see them now, I have more questions about Drake May because of those games that they won and how ugly they were and how turnover prone he was and how he's been more productive on the ground, in my opinion, than sitting in the pocket and locating and being able to, throw to wide open guys. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now, maybe the climate and the weather change and the extra week of preparation, if he is a little dinged up, will benefit him. But I'll make that assessment within the first 8 minutes. I'll know if he's sharp or not. That's all I'm saying. I just... Heading in, I just believe Darnold, hey, if I'm making a pre-kick bet, I'm willing to lay the 4.5 with Seattle. And I'm willing to take the over because, again, I believe Darnold could cook.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I see, that's the thing. I don't have a problem with thinking Darnold is going to cook. I think, in fact, I think it's, when we get into the Super Bowl, you have to be willing to think outside of the box. Right? So that I am fine with. What I am not fine with is, I feel as if to some degree people are hand-waving the fact that Drake May was one of the best players in football all season long. Like, that wasn't not a thing.
No.
Like, I'm just saying, did you think that Darnold was going to outplay Stafford in that game, in the NFC Championship game?
I said that both guys had the ability to throw for 275, 3 and 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
So did I think he could outduel him? No, I mean he didn't statistically, right? But in the grand scheme,
I think you could argue. I think actually that Darnold did outplay him. Here's my. So this is what I guess my thing is. Let's just say, let's agree, Darnold outplayed Stafford in the game, right? Right. Could Darnold outplay Drake May?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he outplayed Stafford. You could argue, but it's not the expectation. And I think we are now in a position where everyone has become way too comfortable with Sam Darnold outplaying a quarterback who is going to finish top 2 in MVP.
And that's why I like the over, because, again, I think I keep going back to it.
Yeah.
The over is my best bet in the game because, again, I see New England saying, okay, and I keep telling you this, if you're Vrabel and you're McDaniels, whether you play down to the level of competition or not, I don't want to rely on Drake May in the second half.
I get that.
And what I mean by that is I don't want to play this tight game plan, and I don't want to all of a sudden then the tight game plan still has us at a deficit, and then I got to worry about my quarterback that hasn't really made any plays in the first half. All of a sudden, in the fourth quarter, opening it up against a defense looking to attack.
Yeah.
I'd much rather get that guy in a rhythm first, get going, and now in halftime I can make adjustments because the whole game plan's open at my disposal. That's all I'm saying.
No, I hear that. I hear that. We do have the Pro Football Doc, Dr. David Chow, though. Not with us.
Okay.
We have him not with us.
Yeah, we
I'm fake. Look at that. Okay, gotcha. I want to
we had some technical difficulties out there in New Orleans and Las Vegas. It's tough when you're dealing with all the logistics. It's tough.
Yeah. Doc, you got us? Take a shot. Why not? Swing? Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Hey, we swung. Here is what I can tell people. Is the 6 score for Sam Darnold. They do individual player grades. Right. 93.
Healthy.
Drake May, 81. So their read on the situation
is that significantly healthier Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that is a product of Darnold's injury was leading into Week 18.
Right.
Am I right about that?
Yes.
Because it was double Niner games. Is that right?
No.
Or was it into the divisional round?
Divisional round. It was the divisional round. He got hurt in in the week leading up to the San Francisco game.
Yeah, they played San Francisco about 400 times, it felt like. Okay. Drake's injury was against Denver. So I don't think that's surprising. I also just think if I were to so we never stop talking about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But if this was the regular season, Drake May got a little banged up in week 10, and then they had a bye, and then he was back in week 12, and then we would think nothing of it.
Right.
So it's funny, I sort of soft like, don't worry about what I think. But listen, again, the technology is the technology. I believe that Drake May will be fine. I don't think I'm going to be watching the Super Bowl.
That's not going to hinder my
I
handicap. I'll tell you that
well,
right now.
I think for some people it could, though.
Really?
Yeah, I think
they have
for some people.
a score on Henderson? What does 6 score have Henderson?
I think he's fine.
Well, I'm just curious.
91.
Boots on the ground. Healthy.
Yes.
91.
Bring him in for a minute. I would hate to. I think that would be. Maybe we'll recalibrate. I'll tell you what. Maybe what we'll do is interview Doc in the commercial and get some insight. I think that would maybe play better. I just can't. Doc's one of the best people we can speak to, and I can't bring Doc in for 20 seconds. But we will do our best here on this Pro Football Today to continue to break it all down. Super Bowl 60. It's the Patriots. It's the Seahawks. It's out in San Francisco, and it's a battle between two quarterbacks that we have differing opinions on, certainly. We will continue to break that down for you on SportsGrid after this quick commercial break.
Drake May and Sam Darnold here and again. Getting out of Stidham, which who knows what that have brought to the Super Bowl, but at least we get a young quarterback in Drake May looking to stamp his claim to, Tom Brady was great for this organization. Let me see if I can run a couple championships up the flagpole early in my career. And then there's Sam Darnold at this point, where he's getting other general managers fired while he's making his run to the Super Bowl. He's been nothing short of really, really good this season.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can USA overtake Canada and get that gold, Joe?
Absolutely, they can here. And ultimately, it feels like that is the two-horse race. And I think ultimately, Canadians don't really care if their team competes in the luge or the bobsled, Donnie, or anything else. They just want that gold when it comes to ice hockey. And that is the only thing that's going to matter there.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burst game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today here on SportsGrid. We are now joined by the Pro Football Doc, Dr. David Chow, 6score.com. You guys know where to be. Doc, it is great that we get to get you on here. I don't want to waste time. I don't want to, go against this connection. We'll see how long it lasts. We appreciate it. Drake May, do we trust him? 6score.com has me concerned.
Well, electrical substation might be helping Drake May because he got better when he landed. Substation is probably hurting our internet here.
Yeah, it sure is.
Shape or form from radio. Look, I'm not concerned about Drake May playing in the game. He absolutely will play. The question is, he's been one of the better throwers, but what happens with his accuracy to the deep ball or when he has to throw in a tight window. That we don't know yet, and that remains to be seen.
Yeah, so, Doc, I think when do you think that the practices, do you think the reports will add any clarity, or now it's kind of we know what we know, and first quarter maybe we reassess?
Well, I find it interesting. Even Patriots media were almost trolling us. They put up a picture today on the internet of Drake May throwing the ball in practice. Now, I don't know if that was today or yesterday or last week, but the bottom line, has been listed as limited practice. There will be another injury report tomorrow. I would expect it to be limited practice again. And what does limited mean? He either threw one pass or 99% of the passes. He either did 1% of the practice or 90% practice. The truth is probably somewhere in between.
Yeah, I think that is fair. What about the other side of the field, Doc? Sam Darnold was a name we were watching here throughout this postseason, but the six score looks pretty shiny right now.
Yeah, I'm actually, all along have been more worried about Drake May's shoulder than Sam Darnold's oblique. Yes, it could flare up again, but it'll be 4 weeks old by the time he plays on Sunday. The bigger thing on the other side of the field of the Patriots, the defensive side, Rob Lane with the ankle and Harold Landry with the knee. Those are the biggest concerns right now on the Patriots.
Doc, how from, people that you speak to, just your own experience, the bye week of it all, the training, the practice schedule, right? How does it being the Super Bowl change things? Are we more cautious? What's the approach like here with a Super Bowl?
Well, the good thing is about the Super Bowl, I think there are proven magical powers of healing given the extra week of bye and rest and desires of all players to play through the Super Bowl regardless. And I think that's going to come into play where everyone's going to try and play. It's the Super Bowl. How well they play and how well they can play is ultimately the question.
Okay, I don't want to test it any more than this. Doc, we appreciate it so much. It is great to talk to you. We'll talk to you on Super Bowl Sunday, sixscore.com, where everybody needs to go. Doc, thanks so much. Enjoy San Francisco.
All right, thank you.
All right, great stuff there
Great stuff.
from Doc. And, it's going to be interesting just to follow those injury reports as well, certainly.
Yeah, the injuries are always important, right, for wide receivers and now the quarterbacks. And to his point, the Drake May situation, he has him significantly lower than Sam Darnold, and that is a concern. Right? Is that a reason why maybe when you look at the total, it's dropping? Like people assess information and look at it and they say, okay, if he's not 100%, we're going to look to sustain drives. We're going to look to keep Darnold on the sidelines. That can, in my opinion, in this game, only last one quarter or so. Because if that's the type of mentality that they take, right, I think they get blown out. Even if Drake May is 81% or 81 on the six score, they have to be aggressive throwing the football. Now, maybe he can't throw it as far and deep with as much velocity, but you could still scheme to get guys open. The way Kubiak schemes to get JSN open, putting guys in the backfield, utilizing a tight end, utilizing heavy formation and throwing out of it as opposed to running out of it. There's all different ways you can scheme to get your quarterback looks at open wide receivers or running backs. And so, yeah, maybe he isn't 100%, and Doc, gave us information on that. But the only way I believe they cover this 4.5 is if he's making plays in the passing game.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think we're in agreement, right?
Yeah, I think he has to be really good. I think, we'll talk about the Super Bowl MVP market a little bit later on, so I don't want to get into it too much. But what I expect from Drake May, I may not be super involved in the market, just because I think it may be overthinking it a little bit. Here's what I will say, though. Josh Allen, was mangled, basically, right, through the back end of the season.
But he's a different quarterback. I'm just saying.
I think Drake May is incredibly tough.
No, I'm not taking away from Drake May's toughness. Right. But Josh has performed
But Josh
banged
also
up
takes more of a
multiple
beating.
years. I mean, he's 6'5". He runs, and now you can. All right, you want to say Drake is in that style? That's fine, but expecting. We're expecting Drake May to be similar to Josh.
When I watched Josh Allen play against both Jacksonville and Denver, I did not feel as if anything that happened on the field, it's like, oh, injured. I think when I would watch him get up, it's like, gosh, this guy's taking a beating, right? I mean, they started to leak out like, yeah, listen, that guy's not rolling on 100%. But I wasn't. When he threw the deep pass to Brandon Cooks, it wasn't an interception in any way because Josh was injured.
Right.
I just do not. I would be very surprised if when we're watching Drake May on Super Bowl Sunday, we go, ooh. See,
come on. He's not going to be out there in a wheelchair. Let's not. I mean, come on. You know, I mean, the way you're framing it, you know, and you're framing it, you know, I said Drake May. I know we're gonna, you know, all of a sudden he's gonna come out in an armcast. I mean, no, he's 81%. He's got bumps and bruises. He'll get through it. He'll perform, and that's that. If they lose and he doesn't step up, he's gonna have to answer the critics. It's not gonna be due to any injury. That's all.
Who will have more critics to answer, you or Drake May?
Me? Really? I'll go out on. I'm not going out on a limb. I'm saying it. All week over Seattle. Over Seattle.
You don't like
over Seattle.
You don't like Seattle.
Yes, I do.
No, I don't.
But I'll load up on the New England props.
Yeah. Again, you know, what we do, really, and I said, hey, guys, I need 5 days
of Lisi
to crack down and figure out what he actually likes in this game. So we're only like a quarter of the way there, my friend. We'll be right back on SportsGrid.
The outline for Koepka are fantastic. I think it's perfect. It is punitive, but it's fair. You've got to levy some sort of fine, so to speak, for, you know, defecting. And I think they've done a wonderful job of being equitable and punishing him a bit at the same time. I think Brooks ultimately wants to be playing with the best.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
New York Giants. They fired their head coach, Brian Daboll. Now, they did that during the season. Harbaugh is the favorite by a wide margin. Looking at Kalshi right now, Joe, 56% chance. 56 that he's the coach. The guy behind him is Kevin Stefanski at 25%. Is this look like it's just a Harbaugh spot? And if not, why is Harbaugh waiting until Monday? Does he want to see if something else opens up? But it looks like he's the heavy favorite and probably will get the job.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today back here on SportsGrid. I want to mix in a bit of news because we may get into this a little bit more in just a bit. We're talking quarterbacks today. There was some quarterback-adjacent news today out of New York in that Jackson Dart's play caller will be Matt Nagy. The New York Giants brought in John Harbaugh, and they were pretty sure that the offensive coordinator would be Todd Monken, and then he got the Browns job. So, as Joe would say, off the scrap heap, in comes Matt Nagy. You like this move for the Giants?
No, it's terrible. Terrible. And I said, I tweeted out, Matt Nagy had the best quarterback supposedly in the NFL, 3 Ferraris, and Xavier Worthy, Marquise Brown, and Rashee Rice for half the year and still couldn't throw deep. I mean, give me a break. I mean, that's the Matt Nagy. Another retread, old-time coach that could see the punches coming, but he can't get out of the way. He's past his prime. I mean, really, let's be honest. Let's call it what it is. The offensive inconsistency with Kansas City and the issues that they had, you have to be kidding me. I mean, seriously. I mean, we were talking, early part of the year, Pat Mahomes, MVP, Pat Mahomes. This is the offense that we were looking for. And all of a sudden, Matt Nagy, when he had to call 2 pass plays in a row in the middle part of the season, was shaking.
But he didn't call the plays.
So then he just did nothing. It was cardboard. Okay.
That's my actually.
The enemy did nothing. Worse. Nagy did nothing, and the Walrus gets all the credit, I guess, right?
But I don't really know what Nagy did to get this job.
What did Nagy do? What has Nagy done outside that 1 year with Trubisky, the first year?
Where they made the playoffs with the defense?
But that's my point. What is it? We talk about retreads in the NFL. What have you seen from Matt Nagy that says, you know what? I want that guy.
I think that's a great question. Today, there was a tweet from Dan Duggan, who covers the New York Giants, from The Athletic, and he quote tweeted the news that Nagy was hired. And the first sentence reads as follows: "Certainly not a hire that is going to excite the fan base." In the words of our producer, Sam Yarnell, oof.
Yeah.
That's not great.
No. So let me
not great.
Let me ask you this. Did Trubisky get better with Nagy?
You mean
they shipped him out?
You can't even get a second chance.
Well, that's my point. I mean, they shipped him out.
Josh Allen's drinking buddy.
Did Mahomes get better this year with Nagy?
Not that I saw.
Okay. And Jackson Dart now is all of a sudden going to be what? The second coming of Eli Manning?
Should have seen if Brian Dable would come back and take the OC job.
I mean, come on. This is pathetic. As a New York fan, and I'm not a New York Giant fan, so I look at it objectively. But the bottom line is this. There is no reason why an organization, when you have a franchise guy, okay, and have young talent around him, they do have young talent. You want to say Wan'Dale Robinson, whether they keep him or not, if he's in that offense with a healthy Malik Neighbors, they have a solid 1-2 type of combo at the wide receiver position. Tracy and obviously the rushing attack with Scatterboo, if he comes back. I mean, there's weapons there. Don't you want a coach that can take this offense to the next level? I mean, I'm just saying, like, what has Matt Nagy done to warrant we want to start the Jackson Dart era in year 2 with this guy?
Well, don't worry, because isn't this why they got Harbaugh? He'll help with that? Well, I don't know.
Stop.
Oh, he does the defense?
Stop.
Oh, he doesn't do that either?
No, he's the CEO.
Oh.
Okay, listen. The bottom line is this. There's great OCs and there's great play callers. And I'll just say this. Matt Nagy's not one of them. Okay? He's not. He's not one of them.
Okay, but
Not one of them. And Harbaugh, again, Harbaugh is riding the wave of success. Okay?
Yeah.
He's riding the wave of success.
I don't think it's great that everybody's number one coach candidate, okay?
Yeah.
All of the sudden now, do you think that things have gone well for all?
No.
Do you think things have gone? Has it been smooth since Harbaugh's taken over the Giants job?
No.
It took him 4 days to figure out the contract.
Well, look, he's a Giant guy. He's like a Tom Coughlin. He's a good, blue-collar guy. He comes with high praise. He's going to lift the organization to be that guy, and the fan base will buy in. That's why he got $20 million a year, Kev. He didn't get $20 million because technically he was the best head coach maybe out there.
No, what do you mean? What? He He got $20 million because they thought that he was a can't-miss, basically guaranteed to make the playoffs coach. Which is crazy.
But also the Giants want a Giants guy. They want somebody that embolizes the organization. So the Maras and Tisches have always been like that.
Well,
they want a giant guy. It's almost like college. We want a Michigan man.
I'm a giant guy.
Please.
Could have gave me the job. Big man. What, I knock you around? Pro Football Today. We'll be right back.
Drake May and Sam Darnold here, and again, getting out of Stidham, which who knows what that have brought to the Super Bowl, but at least we get a young quarterback in Drake May looking to stamp his claim to, Tom Brady was great for this organization. Let me see if I can run a couple championships up the flagpole early in my career. And then there's Sam Darnold at this point, where he's getting other general managers fired while he's making his run to the Super Bowl. He's been nothing short of really, really good this season.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can USA overtake Canada and get that gold, Joe?
Absolutely, they can here. And ultimately, it feels like that is the two-horse race. And I think ultimately, Canadians don't really care if their team competes in the luge or the bobsled, Donnie, or anything else. They just want that gold when it comes to ice hockey. And that is the only thing that's going to matter there.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today, Kevin Walsh, Joe Lisi. Let's talk some Super Bowl MVP here, Joe. I want to get some insight from you on what you expect as it specifically relates to, are the quarterbacks the clear and obvious option here, or can we go down the board? Now, I know who I'm talking to, so I'm sure you're going to look to race down the board, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But do you think that we are getting – are the prices even worth it on the quarterbacks is what I'll ask you.
Oh, no. And the quarterbacks, no.
Simple as that?
Yep. Simple as that.
Money line, don't bother. It's too tight. I think that's fine.
For me, it's too tight.
Yeah.
I'm not playing an MVP race with both quarterbacks, basically. No bang for the buck. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, so I think for me, as you know, and again, we're going to expand throughout the week and maybe even a little bit tonight on the guys down the board, Joe, that we think are worthwhile. But one market, and I'll find the exact price on it, is the Super Bowl MVP to not be a quarterback has sometimes caught my attention.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I'm leaning New England, right? I think Drake May's going to have a really good game. I'm seeing right now Drake May plus 230 to win Super Bowl MVP. That's not actually worth it. The money line is a tick under 2-1. That gap, there are some people who believe, oh, this is a cheat code, right, Joe? They think, hey, why take Pat's money line? You can take Drake May MVP. Better bet. I don't often agree with that. There's a bigger gap between Darnold MVP and Seahawks money line, and that's because of the Jackson Smith and Jigba of it all.
Right.
And heck, even Ken Walker's got himself a pretty low price. So in a similar vein, do you think the Smith and Jigba price, I know there's other guys you like, but do you think that Smith and Jigba price is also too low?
No.
Oh, that's
almost 6-1.
Yeah.
It's plus 550. Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah?
Yeah, when we talk about dominant players and we talk about potential touches and how much of an intricate part he is to that offense. I told you, I mean, in the regular season and the playoffs, I mean, who else is the number 2? We know Cup came on 1 or 2 games, but there's been no consistency from the start of the year to the end. Barner's good, but he's not elite. Rashid is a one-hit wonder. So based off that methodology, of course, almost 6-1.
Yeah. We'll put a pin in this. Let's take the move out to San Francisco. We're joined now by James Fregosa. He is over on Twitter at James Fregosa, the product manager for Pro Football and Sports Network. James, we appreciate you making some time to joining us here in the build-up to Super Bowl 60. How are we feeling out there? Good vibes in San Francisco?
Great vibes, great weather. Great to be here.
So this matchup with the Seattle Seahawks having played in the NFC West, playing local, and just the caliber of football that we've seen from this team has them positioned as a 4.5-point favorite. Do you think Seattle is worthy of the level of favorite that they are in this game?
Personally, I do, and the analytics tell that story, but it's also an issue with the Patriots' strength of schedule. It's been talked about all year, and they rank 32nd in strength of schedule versus Seahawks 19th. So, I mean, that tells most of the story there. And then Seattle has just looked great all year. The rushing attack has been a lot of volume over explosives, but now with Walker getting the lion's share and Charbonnet out due to injury, unfortunately, I expect that offense to keep rolling, especially against, this New England defense that has some holes, especially up front.
So I think that's a really interesting point, James, is figuring out how Seattle will want to attack this New England defense that has played through the 3 playoff games. Again, you could certainly question the caliber of opponents that they've played, but they've been playing incredible football. Do you think Seattle will look for another 35-plus pass attempt game out of Sam Darnold, or play it a little bit closer to the vest, 20 carries, Ken Walker's direction?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the Patriots, they definitely can only play the teams in front of them, and they've crushed it this year. That's why they're in the Super Bowl. In terms of Seattle's offense, they're definitely going to want to try and lean on Ken Walker and lean on that play-action attack with Barner at tight end. Kupp, obviously, he's lost a step. We've seen it this year, but in Jigba over the middle and everything. But yeah, they're definitely not going to want this game to come down to Darnold's hands. They're going to want to try and keep it on the ground, draw out the clock, and force New England's offense to put the pressure on them.
James, I want to talk about the analytics a little bit. How much do the analytics weigh in how dominant New England's been on the road or on a neutral field this year? 9-0. Obviously, they haven't looked the best, but they've still been winning games. Analytically, how do we look at that into the equation?
Yeah, I mean, this regular season, they had a point differential of plus 170. And the issue is that they've only gone 2-2 against plus 500 teams. They beat the Bills and Falcons, but lost the Steelers and the Bills the second time. And even against common opponents, they're basically even with Seattle. They both went 5-1, with the Steelers beating the Patriots and Seattle dropping to the Buccaneers. But it's really going to come down to matchups in this sort of game in the Super Bowl. It's going to be the Jimmies and Joes, not just the X's and O's in a game like this.
So who then, James, we were just talking Super Bowl MVP here on the desk. Who are you looking for to really shine in Super Bowl 60?
Yeah, I think it's going to be the Jackson Smith and Jigba game. You guys talked about it. He is this offense when the ground game isn't really doing much. He is the explosives outside of the 1 or 2 Rashid Shaheed plays downfield. And you have to think that Seattle is just going to be forcing the ball to him as much as they can because they know that he's the playmaker of this offense.
So with Jackson Smith in Jigba, just the focus that we know he is going to receive, and yet he continues to kind of thrive in these spots. One of the, and we like our rankings here on the desk. Do you think that he has fully cemented himself now as a top 3 receiver in football, the best receiver in football? Again, I know it's parsing greatness, but where do you land on JSN?
Yeah, I think this year he's proven that he's at minimum a top 3 receiver, if not the best. And really it's due to his versatility. He can really line up anywhere you need him on offense. He could play that X receiver, beat a press corner off the line. He can play in the slot, be whatever slot corner, slot safety you put on him, and he can motion as a Z and run block as well. He can really do anything you need him to do on that offense, and you just can't find that everywhere.
Yeah, so James, we really appreciate it. Let people know where they can catch your coverage here for Super Bowl 60.
Yeah, of course, at James Fregosa on Twitter, and then we at PFSN have our Super Bowl HQ that has everything you could possibly need there.
Incredible, man. Again, at James Fregosa, as he said, does an excellent, excellent job. James, we really appreciate it.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys. Good luck.
All right, always good to get the feel out there in San Francisco. When for JSN, it's not a hard or it's not an easy group to crack. Right, the best receivers in football. We've seen Puka, we've seen Chase, we've seen Jefferson, but it's hard to leave JSN out of these conversations.
He's in there, and the thing that you look at is the ability. He reminds me so much of Chase now because of the route running ability, right? The body type. Mm-hmm. Chase is similar in size. I think Jefferson just feels like a lankier, bigger wide receiver, right? The ability to high point the football. JSN just has great hands. I mean, wherever his routes are so crisp, breaking out. He never loses top speed.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and the quarterback to wide receiver relationship between him and Darnold is phenomenal. You could see the confidence in Darnold. It doesn't matter if he's double covered, right?
Yeah.
He's going to JSN as many times as possible. And when we just think about, in a tough spot, Mahomes always went to Kelsey for the most part in the playoff run. Brady would always go to Gronk and Edelman, right? Darnold has gone to JSN all the time. Yeah. I mean, all the time. It's like, give somebody another shot to eat, but when they have that going, it's very difficult to disrupt, Kev.
Well, and that's why, the bet I talked about at the top of our show today,
I still like that bet. You're going to get me in on that. I do. I like it.
Because I think someone else could get it, but it's the Super Bowl. I expect Jackson Smith and Jigba to have 100-plus yards. I just do. We'll get more into that and that Super Bowl MVP market after the break with you right here on SportsGrid.
Drake May and Sam Darnold here and again, getting out of Stidham, which who knows what that have brought to the Super Bowl. But at least we get a young quarterback in Drake May looking to stamp his claim to, Tom Brady was great for this organization. Let me see if I can run a couple championships up the flagpole early in my career. And then there's Sam Darnold at this point, where he's getting other general managers fired while he's making his run to the Super Bowl. He's been nothing short of really, really good this season.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can USA overtake Canada and get that gold, Joe?
Absolutely they can here, and ultimately it feels like that is the two-horse race, and I think ultimately Canadians don't really care if their team competes in the luge or the bobsled, Donnie, or anything else. They just want that gold when it comes to ice hockey, and that is the only thing that's going to matter there.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots, and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burst game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
All right, Pro Football Today, back at the right here on SportsGrid. I want to dive back into the Super Bowl MVP market, Joe, because I know that there are going to be some longer shots that you're interested in. Now, you did say that you think the JSN number, though, isn't a bad one to play at around plus 550 or call it 6-1. But come on, as you say, take the governor off. Where are you looking?
Well,
who really
I
has your
told
interest?
you earlier in the week, look, the 50-1 number on Shaheed is interesting because he's a return guy.
Okay, let me start with that.
Go ahead.
Does he have to return one to win MVP?
Well, I mean, no. But if he doesn't have to return one, but he's got to go for $150 and 2 or 3 touchdowns receiving then. Okay?
Yeah.
But that's my point.
So he does.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, he does have to return one. But if you get the return, you add, I'm going to just throw a number out there, 80 and 90 with a touchdown, and let's say 15 rushing yards, and maybe he gets another one. Maybe he counts for 3. I'm just saying. I'll throw you a bone. Look, we look for different ways of capitalizing on the market, right?
Okay.
You take an offensive guy like JSN.
Yeah.
He's got to go through receiving, right? He might get one carry, but he's not doing it on the ground.
Yeah.
It's all receiving, right? Darnold's got to potentially, just play clean the quarterbacks. We know what they have to do. Running back, you got to break Timmy Smith's record. That you got to go for 205 and basically run for multiple touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
For Rashid, you have a special teams playmaker. When you look at the history of the NFL, Des Howard won it, right? Why? Because he had the kick return, right? Yeah. Against Bledsoe in New England. There's multiple, Fulton Walker had one back in the day. Devin Hester had a return in the loss to New Orleans, to the Colts. I'm just saying, in that type of situation, when you have an elite return guy that has returned one in the playoffs, to get a 50-1 number with him, and he's in the starting lineup, I like that value. That's not the only guy, but the 50-1, I think, is great value on Shaheed.
So I think he has to return one.
All right, but that could happen.
He's been able to do it. So,
right.
In big games, and he is allowed to, if that make right, like a lot of times they're like, hey, just wave it. Like he just goes.
Think about the Ram game. They were dead to rights in that game. The punt return changes everything.
Yep.
I'm just saying, you have the punt, you have the kickoff, and now you have his receiving ability.
Yep.
You get 3 for the price of 1.
So I want to ask you about Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah. I know you did that on purpose.
What? No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. All right. He's Earl Campbell out there. He's a Barry Sanders, Ramondre Stevenson. But he's been productive. I know he's been productive. I get it. Make it sound like he's a Hall of Fame. Put the yellow jacket on him after this game. Go ahead. Come on.
I haven't even said anything.
I know, because I know where you're going. Go ahead. Talk to me about Ramondre. Go ahead. So productive. 6 yards a carry in the playoffs. Go ahead. I know.
So you don't like him?
Hope they stuff him. Bow up! I'm going to be saying that in the first quarter. Bow up!
Come on, Joe. He's the best player on this team.
Yeah, best player. Best player on the team now.
Why
you
not?
just told me.
Yeah.
Give him the yellow jacket after this game.
Yeah, probably. I mean, listen.
Hall of Fame game. This is it.
So let's just say there's 30 running back touches available on New England. How many do you think he gets, Ramondre Stevenson?
9.
You're an idiot. That's a lot of Jack Westover fullback dive.
Now, he'll probably get 17. I'll say, maybe 15. No, because, again,
you think he's going to go down the middle? Down the middle with Trevion in the game?
No, I think that both running backs.
So just stop skirting around it. You like Henderson, 125-1 Super Bowl MVP.
I do.
Stop skirting around it.
All right, that's one option. Yeah.
Come on, it's your best bet.
Look, in Super Bowls, what do we remember? We remember explosive plays, don't we?
Yeah.
We
also remember guys who play 4 snaps. Come on.
You got boots on the ground. Don't we have another guest coming in at 7:30? Ask him about the mindset of what's going on for New England.
Yeah, that's sure. Okay.
What's the backfield looking like? What's the pulse? What are you hearing down there? Boots in the ground.
I think Ramondre Stevenson has been the best offensive weapon on this Patriots team for 6 or 7 weeks.
It's like Derrick Henry. It's like when Vrabel had Derrick Henry back in Tennessee.
Well, no, because he actually throws Stevenson the ball, unlike Derrick Henry.
All right.
So they're willing to give him the rock. Oh, you know what? You're right.
What?
Hey, everybody. I know that this might hurt your wallet, but Trevion Henderson, do his day. 3 carries, 5 yards.
Yeah, I know.
We like the bounce back spot.
Trevion Henderson rushed for 911 yards, 5.1 yards per carry. Had 5 rushes for over 50 yards or more. And we're making Ramondre Stevenson out to be, I don't know. LT, LaDainian Tomlinson.
Went under 50
here it is,
scrimmage yards.
right here.
Went under
Marshall
50
Faulk.
scrimmage
I didn't
yards
realize
against
he was
Notre Dame.
Marshall Faulk.
Trevion Henderson. Went under 50 scrimmage in the national championship game.
Quinshon Junkins.
Yeah, well, too bad he's not in this game. And I know you think the Browns might be there next year with Mac Jones leading the way.
I should be GM. I really should.
I'd call you daily. Hey, Joe, you don't want that first-round pick. Come on.
I'd turn us into a winner, I'll tell you that.
You blind. Yeah, you'd push your chips all in, 8 wins. You'd be Tomlin. Yeah, 8. Hey, maybe 9. Hey, guys, never that bad. Run it.
All right. Listen, bottom line is you're on Stevenson, I'm on Trevion Henderson.
And that's how you like it.
And that's the way I do like
Nick
it.
Eamon-Worry for
I mean, it's possible. Defensive specialist. I mean, you know.
Eamon-Worry's got great value because he's the same number as Jason Myers. You want to talk about no chance. Who bet Jason Myers down to 100 to 1? You might get me in on this, Trevion.
Do you have a Kyle Williams number?
Oh, so hold on a second. Let me scroll to the 750 to 1. $1 wins you $750.
No, is he that high?
He's the same number as Robert Spillane. And he's a little bit longer than Robbie Oots.
Kyle Williams has got huge. $20.
You like Will Campbell? 2,000 to 1?
No.
Well, he went to LSU.
Well, what's Booty's number?
Okay, Sean Moore on the shorter side, 125 to 1.
All right. How about Gonzalez if you like defensive specialists?
Yeah, but I don't know if they'll throw his way. What about Marcus Jones in the return game?
I was going to say DeMarcus Lawrence.
I like Marcus Jones,
the scoop and score. He had 2 against Arizona.
Yeah, but they're going to lose this game.
All right. You got it all figured out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Got the answers before the test.
I know.
Nice.
You like Seattle to win by a blowout, and you got Henderson somehow finding his way to 20 carries. You figure that out.
Drake May and Sam Darnold here and again. Getting out of Stidham, which who knows what that have brought to the Super Bowl. But at least we get a young quarterback in Drake May looking to stamp his claim to, yeah, Tom Brady was great for this organization. Let me see if I can run a couple championships up the flagpole early in my career. And then there's Sam Darnold at this point, where he's getting other general managers fired while he's making his run to the Super Bowl. He's been nothing short of really, really good this season.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can USA overtake Canada and get that gold, Joe?
Absolutely, they can here. And ultimately, it feels like that is the 2-horse race. And I think ultimately, Canadians don't really care if their team competes in the luge or the bobsled, Donnie, or anything else. They just want that gold when it comes to ice hockey. And that is the only thing that's going to matter there.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burst game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today here on SportsGrid, talking a little Super Bowl MVP. Can you parlay some of these?
No, you can't. How you gonna? Come on. What do you see?
But you saw how it caught your eye, right?
Anything to parlay in this Super Bowl. Willing to do.
All right, let me start. Hold on.
What do you want to do?
Well, I want to throw, because you have to go to the mobile app to get some of the other numbers.
Yeah.
So I want to just throw a couple of things at you.
Can't wait. When we have boots on the ground, you think we'll get an insight on some of the injuries and stuff?
Probably not.
Yeah.
So, here's a question.
Okay.
Position of MVP.
I don't
Quarterback, minus 250.
Wide receiver?
Plus 420.
I like that.
Running back / fullback. You get the fullback just in case, 6 to 1.
No shot. I like the plus 420 wide receiver.
What about any defensive player, 11 to 1?
Not bad.
Okay.
If you have multiple interceptions for the same guy.
Okay.
Or a Malcolm Butler type.
I'm going to skip one for a second.
Go ahead.
Kicker, punter, long snapper,
No
70.
shot. No shot.
Okay. Any offensive lineman, 250.
No shot, unless they catch a touchdown.
All right, so I skipped one. Tight end, 55 to 1.
Oh, really? That's enticing. Hunter Henry or Barner. Maybe Hooper, Austin Hooper.
I knew you'd do it. I knew you would. I knew Henry was too popular. Hooper, maybe. Austin, what do you think Austin Hooper is to win Super Bowl MVP? Honestly, 100. Is that 150 to 1 or is that 1,000? Yeah, you win $1,500 if Austin Hooper wins Super Bowl MVP.
I mean, you want to go with the Bobo?
Not really. Apparently, he's a Boston guy. Saw this?
So what does that mean? He's going to drop the ball if he's in the end zone? Gets the duffel bag? Drop the ball in the end zone.
His family's looking out for him.
I mean, come on.
Do you like? So, how about this? Are you getting enough money at? I think this number's dropped a little bit, but it was 2 to 1. Any position other than quarterback to win?
Yeah, I mean, 2 to 1, any position other than the quarterback is good because you're protected on the defensive side of the ball. If you do have a lower scoring game and it's an ugly type of game with multiple turnovers and there is a player to have a fumble recovery in the end zone, a touchdown, scoop and score, I think you have the option to potentially get it. Remember when we were talking about Devin White against Mahomes, right? What do you have? Multiple tackles for loss, multiple tackles.
Yeah.
They gave it to Brady, I'm saying the argument was Devin White could have won it that year. Or in the running. What are you looking at? You're always looking at something.
Well, I got something that might be of your
what
interest.
else you have?
Total individual touchdown scores. Meaning, in the game against the Seahawks where they played the Rams, Walker is 1, Kyron, JSN, Bobo, Adams, Kupp.
So what's the number?
Puka, 4.5 plus money to the over. 5 different players score a touchdown in this game?
I'm going to say no.
Whoa.
I think
Really?
I think the MVP could have multiple.
Now, see, you intrigue me.
I might go. I might build a parlay. Both quarterbacks to score.
Go ahead.
Kyle Williams and then JSN.
So that's 4 touchdown scores.
Right, but that doesn't mean that obviously JSN can't have 2. I'm just saying.
Oh, I understand.
Right. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Darnold could have.
You've got
2.
the script.
I gotta write that down.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Both QBs.
Wait, is that a parlay?
Kyle Williams.
Or is that a straight bet?
No, it's a straight. No, it's a JSN. That's got to be. That's
Williams, Darnold. Hold on, I'll build it. I think they're going to say cut it out, and there's no way you want this. I think that's what they're going to write back. Hold on a second. What do you think? What do you think? $10 pays. Not enough, in my opinion. $5,738.
Put 100 in there. 50,000. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're getting 57
So
grand.
take,
I don't think
take
that's
JSN
enough.
out.
Okay.
And put in Travion because he's 5 to 1.
That pays 93 grand.
That's more like it.
Can I hold on a second? Let's just get down to the meat and potatoes of this. Fits with our theme of the show. each quarterback to score.
Yeah.
100 wins, basically
Right.
3,500.
Right.
You feel like that they're giving you a good number?
Yeah.
I think it's a terrible number.
Well, what do you think it should be?
Well, what Sam Darnold
Well, Drake May
hasn't scored a rushing touchdown all season.
Right. It's a Super Bowl, though.
I understand that, but that's an awful number. That's just nonsense.
What's a straight? It's got to be a 10 to 1.
It's 850.
Oh, that's light.
He should be like 15.
Yeah, he should 16, right. He should be Stafford-esque, 19 to 1.
He doesn't have one all year. Why would it be 850?
Because he could scoot.
Somebody know something?
Yeah. I like Darnold.
Sir, found something on quarterback day. We knew it.
Drake May and Sam Darnold here and again, getting out of Stidham, which who knows what that have brought to the Super Bowl. But at least we get a young quarterback in Drake May looking to stamp his claim to, yeah, Tom Brady was great for this organization. Let me see if I can run a couple championships up the flagpole early in my career. And then there's Sam Darnold at this point, where he's getting other general managers fired while he's making his run to the Super Bowl. He's been nothing short of really, really good this season.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can USA overtake Canada and get that gold, Joe?
Absolutely, they can here. And ultimately, it feels like that is the two-horse race. And I think ultimately, Canadians don't really care if their team competes in the luge or the bobsled, Donnie, or anything else. They just want that gold when it comes to ice hockey. And that is the only thing that's going to matter there.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burst game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today, back with you here on SportsGrid. I want to zero in a little bit on Drake May, just kind of where he sits within this game. We've talked a lot about him. I don't think you have a lot of trust in Drake May, so I guess...
No. When you say trust,
yeah,
I think he could get close to his total and through it. I think he has to in order for them to win.
Okay.
And I like the over. So, yeah, I do need him to produce. So when you say I don't have confidence in him, I think he could put up numbers. I just think
I need to ask you, this is a
Yeah,
serious
here we go.
question.
Again.
Okay, and no, hold on.
Go ahead.
You can change this answer throughout the week.
Go ahead.
Right now, what is the Joe Lisi final score?
Part of me wants to take...
Number can change throughout the week. You want me to go first?
No, I'll go. 35-24 Seattle.
Okay, that helps.
59.
Man.
What?
You got Seattle scoring 35.
Again, what? Okay.
It's a lot. It's a lot of points.
Okay, so you want me to say 21-13?
No.
All right, what do you want me to say? I think 35.
No, I want you to say what you think.
Look, I think in this type of situation
Do you want me to say what I think? Or
we just said that Kubiak took the governor off in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, without Charbonnet in there, their rushing attack isn't as explosive with Holani, I don't think, as opposed to Charbonnet.
Sure.
So they've turned it on in the passing attack. I don't think that stops.
But just because they're willing to throw it doesn't mean they're going to have a world of success. It doesn't.
You like the under, I like the over.
I didn't say I like the under. You didn't even ask me for my final score.
What's your final score?
Well, it's rotating a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
But right now, in this moment, I think I would say 28-24
4. Make it 24.
28-20.
Oh, okay.
28-20 New England.
Rematch of what happened. You could play that.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Right now, if you make me say it today, 28-20.
So you lean to the over as well.
Yeah, but the problem is the team that you have scoring 35, I have scoring 2 less touchdowns.
Okay, that's why we're debating it and discussing it on the panel here. Everybody has a different opinion.
Yeah, but sometimes I hear your analysis, and it's so focused on how you don't think Drake May's any good.
Again, with that, I didn't say. You're starting early. It's.
Yeah. You know what? Let's get a mediator in here, maybe to help us figure this whole thing out. One of my favorites to talk football with. We've been doing it all season long. That is, of course, Brady Cannon. Brady, great to see you. We will talk side, we'll talk movement, but I'm curious, do you have a read right now on this listed total for Super Bowl 60?
Well, I kind of split the middle between you and Joe there as far as my final predicted score, okay? I said 27-20 in favor of Seattle. You said 28-20 in favor of New England. So I do lean towards the game. Now, I saw this open up at 47 at a very sharp book in a faraway place. It has since been bet down. We've seen it come down to 45. I don't think we're going to hit 44.5. But gosh, if we did, I would like to play the over. At this point, I'm probably not going to play the total unless I see it go to 44.5. Now, the other thing is, by the time we get to like Thursday or Friday, if it hasn't gone beneath 45, it's probably going to go back up because that's when the public arrives to Las Vegas and everybody's going to their local book and what have you, and they're getting excited for the game and they want to get involved. And you know how that goes. That is typically bets being placed on over the total. So if we don't get below 45, then I probably won't be involved. But again, 27-20 in favor of Seattle was my prediction.
So I know that sometimes you're certainly willing to play the teasers. Do you think that we will primarily see this game teased to the over and then, but I know people don't love crossing 0. So will it be, do you think the books will be more at liability on the New England portion of that teaser?
Probably not. I would say I don't know if the general public really plays a lot of teasers, to be honest with you.
That's true.
But I think it's a smarter teaser to tease New England up to plus 10.5. You're going through better numbers, really, by teasing New England. From a 4.5, you're going through the 6, the 7, the 8, the 10. If you go the other way, you've got to basically bring it to what, a 7.5 point teaser to go through the 3. That's probably a little aggressive and gets expensive. And if you just do a standard 6 point teaser, you're not even getting to 3. So that's not a great bet. I mean, if you want to try and tease Seattle, you got to at least get it to 3, if not 3.5. So again, as from a teaser perspective, I think you're going through better numbers if you tease New England the other way.
Brady, I want to ask about just the perception of New England right now. How much are we putting in the fact that how they won their last 3 games? More methodical, more ugly, and where Seattle and Sam Darnold just look to be hitting on all cylinders. Are we looking at that in the 4.5 point number and how we see maybe perception coming in and them hitting the total just a bit?
Well, it's a good question, Joe, and I do believe the public perception on New England is probably down a little bit because they've been getting roughed up by some of the very best defenses in the NFL. The Chargers gave them fits. I mean, I've said this a couple of times. If you would have told DeMeco Ryans and Jim Harbaugh that they were going to hold them to 16 points or whatever, they said, yeah, sign me up. Problem is, their offenses couldn't score, and C.J. Stroud went berserk and threw 18 interceptions or whatever. At the same time, I don't think Seattle's necessarily going to put up 46 points on the board like they did against San Francisco. I think the number's about right. I made it 5, and Joe, I actually give Seattle a little bit of home field advantage here. I made it 4 and gave them an extra point for that because, for 14 seasons, they've been playing a game here at this stadium from the visitors' locker room, by the way. This organization is very familiar with this trip, as are their fans. And then when I crunch the numbers, I come to 6.5. I'm probably going to play at Seattle on the money line because I could see a scenario where New England absolutely covers this game, if not wins it outright. I feel more comfortable playing Seattle just to win the game and not necessarily lay the points, Joe.
Brady, with the different books that you always try and get a feel on, and I think it's important to kind of get these check-ins. Are we seeing any of those fives still out there? The 4.5s have held strong. I've yet to see, maybe you have a book go down to 4 anywhere.
I'm not seeing any 4s. And I think we might go higher than 5. And there are still a handful of books out here in Las Vegas. Joe, you're very familiar. The Westgate Superbook is at 5. The South Point is at 5. There are a couple of spots offshore that are at 5. Circa is still at 4.5. And like you say, Kevin, the majority of everybody is at 4.5. But again, when that public shows up, wherever it is, especially here in Las Vegas, I think you're going to, you know how it is. The public typically bets the favorite and the over. The other thing they typically bet for the Super Bowl is the dog on the money line. And that kind of goes back to what I was talking about betting Seattle on the money line. Right now, you're looking at around minus 230. When you get the volume of bettors here arriving to town in Las Vegas, and if they do what they normally do, betting the underdog on the money line, that mentality of I want to bet a little to win a lot, the money line on the favorite should come down. And many people are predicting to around $2, minus 200. And that I feel is very good value to play the favorite in that scenario.
I want to ask you one question to split the debate with Kevin and I. So, do you see a scenario where if New England wins, the over could come in? I'm just curious about the perception, because the perception is the over leads to Seattle. Are we in a situation where New England can win a high-scoring game as well?
That's a really good question, Joe. Boy, I heard somebody describe this the other day, and I thought it was well said, that it feels like Seattle, if they just play their game, they'll win the football game. New England, I think, has to have like an outlier, something odd happen. They've got to, Darnold has to turn it over a number of times. They're going to have to get weird, crazy production out of their backs. I'm not sure where that leads as far as the total, but I do think New England needs to have something obscure happen for them to win the game, whereas Seattle, I think it is more status quo.
All right, let's keep Brady around. I want to ask a couple more Super Bowl-based questions after the break right here on SportsGrid.
Drake May and Sam Darnold here, and again, getting out of Stidham, which who knows what that have brought to the Super Bowl, but at least we get a young quarterback in Drake May looking to stamp his claim to, Tom Brady was great for this organization. Let me see if I can run a couple championships up the flagpole early in my career. And then there's Sam Darnold at this point, where he's getting other general managers fired while he's making his run to the Super Bowl. He's been nothing short of really, really good this season.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can USA overtake Canada and get that gold, Joe?
Absolutely they can here. And ultimately, it feels like that is the two-horse race. And I think ultimately Canadians don't really care if their team competes in the luge or the bobsled, Donnie, or anything else. They just want that gold when it comes to ice hockey. And that is the only thing that's going to matter there.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots, and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
live with you here on Sports Grid. It is Pro Football Today. Kevin Walsh with Joe Lisi. We're both joined by Brady Cannon. Always great to talk some football with Brady. And Brady, I always love to kind of go through the process of it all, right? And with the Super Bowl brings out a lot of different stuff. For someone like yourself, very process-oriented, right? Crunches the numbers, makes the numbers. How outside of side and total, or money line, I guess, in this instance, right, do you get with the Super Bowl?
That I've heard a couple of people mention here. We had some guests on our show over the weekend, and I was kind of looking at this, and they brought it to my attention, and I tend to agree. Is Drake May on the yes to throw an interception, and that's about minus 130, minus 140. We've seen, and we touched on it in the last segment, the defenses that he's faced. As far as defensive passer rating, he is going to face, or will have faced, 4 out of the top 5 in the NFL. Chargers number 1, Houston number 2, Denver number 4, Seattle number 5. And he's been good. I know he threw 3 touchdown passes against Houston, but he's fumbled the ball 6 times, lost 3 of them. He's thrown 2 interceptions. He's been sacked 15 times. He's going to face that same type of pressure. There's also film out on this guy on what has caused him to be disrupted and throw him off of his normal MVP type campaign. So I think these defensive coordinators have learned something in the last few weeks, and I think the number for him to throw an interception is very fair. That's a prop bet that I certainly like.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, Brady. Do you look? I'll be totally honest. I think it is important for people to give advice around betting the Super Bowl, be smart, timing. I will say I occasionally roll my eyes a little bit when there are some people who go, oh, you can't bet Super Bowl props on Sunday. Oh, you bet the press market, worse than the number. Listen, you want to get the best of the number. It's the Super Bowl. Let's be realistic. Someone's going to bet JSN's receiving yards on Sunday at 5 p.m. That's just what it is. With that said, though, the timing of it all, Brady, how important is that when it comes to betting the Super Bowl?
It's pretty important, I think, especially for the prop market. The point spread hasn't moved a whole lot since it opened. Totals moved a little bit. But the prop market is definitely important. And if you haven't gotten down on props yet, you probably want to wait. And you have to check the numbers, and you got to shop around. You got to do all that due diligence. But the general rule of thumb is if you're betting on the yes and the overs, you want to do it early. And if you're betting on the no's and the unders, you want to do it late. And the general consensus thinking there is, that those numbers, like you alluded to, Kevin, the general public's going to show up to town and they're going to bet JSN over on his receiving yards, even if that number's 150 yards. So, the later you get into the week and the more bets on the yeses and the overs creates better value on the no's and the under. So, yeah, if you're not involved yet and you do go to the window on Sunday, I would concentrate on no's and the under.
I do want to bring up, because I know you do the show with Mike Pritchard. Mike played for Seattle, and any type of information that he gets. I'm always big, and when we break down the prop markets, Brady, that secondary options, right? When you have the extra week of preparation, that's potentially where a different type of game plan. And when we just look at this offense for New England, not as a lot of explosive names as opposed to obviously Seattle, right? Shaheed stepped up with a 50-yard reception. Who do we believe on New England potentially could step up and maybe be that guy outside of Stephon Diggs?
Yeah, it's a good question. And Mike lends such a great player perspective to the conversation. We're talking about handicapping, and Mike's a very good handicapper, but some of the nuggets that he throws out there from that, being an NFL veteran for 9 years, really, you can turn it into actionable information. And he said something on our show over the weekend about like the inside zone style running that New England does versus kind of the outside zone that is a Kubiak Shanahan type of trait that Seattle does. He expects New England will have more trouble rushing the football. Both of these run defenses are pretty good. Another thing that he brought up, and our guest Paul Bovey brought it up as well, Robert Spillane is nursing an ankle injury, and a lot of people think about Williams there clogging up that middle. And really, when he came back into the lineup, that's when this run defense for New England kind of reappeared. But really, if you look, I mean, Spillane's the leading tackler, I believe, on the entire team. I think his health is more important to that defense being able to stop Kenneth Walker and Helani, more so than Williams is. And that's something to really look out for as well, Joe. As far as who on that side is going to be explosive, it's going to have to be May. You hope that shoulder is healthy. I believe it'll be fine. And then I would probably look to the tight ends, maybe Ramondre Stevenson out of the backfield. But, I think in the Super Bowl, and you kind of touch on it, when you have 2 weeks to prepare, I think you can find some deeper wrinkles in that playbook that nobody's really seen all season. And for me, that means something like Austin Hooper or Hunter Henry, and not necessarily Stephon Diggs and Kayshon Boutte. The less obvious choices, I think, are directions that make for a good game plan and also a good betting plan. Who's going to score the first touchdown? Who's good? Things like that, different novelty props like that. I like to look at guys that are under the radar because I mean, did we ever see the Philly special run during the regular season? And then all of a sudden they pull it out with Nick Foles and what? So I think you have to look for some obscurity and some under the radar stuff. That's who I would expect. Again, if New England's going to do it, it's probably not going to necessarily come all from their marquee guys, Joe.
Brady, let me end with this, and we appreciate it so much, but I'm just curious, and the people you talk out there to in Vegas, is anyone talking about the Drake May or even Sam Darnold injuries you feel this week?
Well, I think the Drake May shoulder has been a concern, but I think the consensus is that he's going to be fine. And, of course, Vrabel's saying that, and I don't necessarily think it's just coach speak. I certainly don't think he wants to say anything bad about his quarterback or derogatory, but I do tend to believe him that the shoulder is going to be fine. Now, he's been sacked 15 times. He's been beaten up a little bit, right? And I would expect Seattle's going to get after him even more so. But I do believe the health issue, simply health for both quarterbacks, Kevin, will be fine. I don't think that is necessarily going to be a hindrance or a big factor impacting the outcome of this game.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think it's interesting just to see kind of, how other people are reading that situation. Brady, awesome. We appreciate it as always, Brady Cannon. Joe and I will be button up Pro Football today after the break right here on SportsGrid.
Drake May and Sam Darnold here and again, getting out of Stidham, which who knows what that have brought to the Super Bowl. But at least we get a young quarterback in Drake May looking to stamp his claim to, yeah, Tom Brady was great for this organization. Let me see if I can run a couple championships up the flagpole early in my career. And then there's Sam Darnold at this point, where he's getting other general managers fired while he's making his run to the Super Bowl. He's been nothing short of really, really good this season.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can USA overtake Canada and get that gold, Joe?
Absolutely, they can here. And ultimately, it feels like that is the two-horse race. And I think ultimately, Canadians don't really care if their team competes in the luge or the bobsled, Donnie, or anything else. They just want that gold when it comes to ice hockey. And that is the only thing that's going to matter there.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
All right, back with you here on Pro Football Today. Kevin Walsh and Joe Lisi going through some of the quarterback numbers today. One quarterback bet that I expect to place is, and let me see what the actual number is.
Go ahead.
Drake May over 1.5 total touchdowns.
That's not a bad. What is it though? Minus 134.
That's what I need to find out, because I actually was told the juice wasn't bad, but let me look for myself.
You better confirm that. I got one for us.
Okay, do that, and then I'll circle back, actually.
Okay, so ready?
Go ahead.
Successful 4th down conversion in the team's own territory.
Okay.
Plus 110 to the yes.
That's not bad.
No, I think you're going to
get... You can get it to 44.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do you like that? Minus 140 to the no.
I think that's a fun number to root on. And also, like, if you get into a crazy, situation where a team has no chance, this is tough to find. Here we go. Okay.
So now, here's another one, too, if we're talking even money.
Yep.
Not even money. Let me rephrase.
Okay.
It's minus 113 there, both sides.
All right,
okay.
Fair enough.
But what do you think? Don't look. The total amount of 4th down conversions are in the game.
2, 3.5?
1.5.
1.5.
In a Super Bowl?
What's the odds on that?
Minus 113. Either way.
But I might be a wheel. I mean, I gave out a wheel answer.
See, so for me...
I was going to say 2.5. I went to 3.5.
I love the over. If you're talking chalky and we're talking minus money...
Now, I think what's important, I guess...
Go ahead.
They got to actually get it.
Okay, but here's the thing. Fourth quarter, team trailing with 5 minutes left.
Gotcha.
And they're throwing.
So in Pats-Broncos, fake game.
Yeah, it's a fake game. Come on.
1 for 2.
All right, Stafford got one.
Seahawks-Rams.
Stafford got one on the 4th and 1.
1 for 2.
Yeah, but again, Kev, that game was a one-score game.
Yeah, the game gets out of hand, you're saying.
If that game was 11 without Woolen making the
2 for 4 in the Pats-Texans game.
Here we go. Now he's going to overthink it.
I'm not going to.
I like the over.
Well, I'm going to think it.
I like the over because the bottom line is go to the Super Bowl last year. How many of Mahomes?
If you get, that's a good point.
Go to a Super Bowl.
You'd imagine it's pretty high.
Oh, go to last year's game.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
What do you think it is off the top of your head? You had the guys throw a number out. 5?
I know that Jalen and the Eagles converted one.
You know that.
I'm pretty sure, unless it was a 3rd down, but God.
Yeah, they each went 0 for 1.
Oof. Didn't he score, or was that a penalty on the touchdown? Wasn't that a 4th down?
What are you talking about?
When he got the tush push.
The first touchdown of the game?
Yeah. Wasn't that
last
a 4th
year?
Down? Yeah.
No, it was a first down.
Was
it? After Dotson was down at the 1.
I still like it.
You're twisted.
I am twisted.
It's a bad. Listen, I made a bad number. All right, so Drake May.
You and the straight.
If I tell you he's plus 130 for 2 touchdowns, what do you think he would be for 2 passing plus rushing?
280.
Minus 280?
No. Oh, what is he? I thought you said he. Say that again. I heard you wrong. Go ahead.
Plus 130 to throw 2.
Yes.
Okay. For him to have 2 passing plus rushing. So if he throws 2, 1-on-1, 2 rushing, the bet wins.
Oh, okay.
What do you think it is?
I thought you were talking 3 total. 2. Okay.
I'll find the 3 total.
Okay. Minus 156.
Okay. Not bad.
What is it?
Minus 118, so I got a good bet.
Okay.
You like it?
It's all right. You win this Drake May.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Do you think it's better off I just bet the passing touchdowns? Don't worry about the on the floor stuff?
No.
I think he could catch one.
All right, now, here we go.
What?
Okay, Johnny Manziel. Here we go. Johnny Manziel is.
How is that where your brain goes?
Because I was watching on Instagram, they showed a Mike McDaniel when he was the OC with Shanahan with the Browns, and they did a reverse.
Oh, with the fake one?
Yeah.
Wait.
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah. Hold on.
That's the way they used to call him in Staten Island. Johnny Manziel.
Plus 320 for 3 passing plus rushing.
Here's the thing.
I'll just take the
Can
passing.
I just say this?
I think you might be right.
I like both. You know what?
Could
Just
be a
do what
wheel play.
Both quarterbacks to score, Kyle Williams and JSN.
How many games this year do you think he's thrown for 1 and ran for 1?
I like the over. I'm sticking to the over in
All right,
Seattle.
so I'm out on that. Just going to take him to throw for 2. Good plus price.
I like Kyle Williams over whatever totally.
You giving out your full card?
Yeah, why not?
You're not.
Every day. I want it to be repetitive. Bazooka Joe.
What are you not showing up tomorrow?
Well, I'll be here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Locked in.
Locked in.
Get a couple picks out of you.
Yeah.
Talk maybe receivers.
Maybe I'll go into the gym, pump out some props.
Joe Lisi, Kevin Walsh, Pro Football.